Welcome to the July 6th, week 9.
Yes.
Yeah, 9. Stand Up for Gray Area. Today is not an actual production studio day, but everybody came in anyway. Our build review is next week. So that'll be the third of the build reviews. And then we'll have another 3 weeks for a fourth, and then 2 weeks for the fifth, which will probably actually only be a week, because it'll probably happen week 14 will be the Greenlight celebration. So as usual, we'll go around and talk about what we've worked on since we last met, what we're working on today, and if there's anything that's potentially a roadblock in our way.
What programming doing abilities, the blurb, casting stuff. I finished the user interface basic stuff. Probably spent more of the time with Charles and Zoe, and that's about it.
Hey Travis, game design. Last week I did the NPCs for the crash site for their states and their reactions to things. This week I was trying to do like the blurbs that they would have when they interact with things or you scan them. Nothing's really standing my way.
Hi, Garrett. Motion capture. This past week, I've been re-rigging the model and retargeting some of his animations. This next week, finishing up retargeting. But also today, shooting some more things. So I'm gonna have to clean that up as well this next week.
My name's Charles, lead programmer. Working on the AI for the game right now. Trying to work through and get some movement algorithms tested. So hopefully I can get that done soon so I can start working on other parts of the AI. So that's about all I've got.
Zachary World programmer. I've been working on the sound effects. I finally managed to find a good number of different walking sounds for different surfaces, and I figured out how to make it so that way when you walk on different textures on the terrain or different materials, it plays a different sound effect. And this morning I worked on figuring out how to make it so that the sound actually plays when your foot touches down on the animation instead of just constantly playing the loop of the sound. And I guess I'll be looking for more sound effects and ambient sounds, because apparently there's no one that gives free desert night sounds. So
Ambient sounds are hard to find.
Yeah.
Donald Shep is project lead. Real quick, I'll start talking about people who aren't here. Marcos is working on the Beisel Ranch house. It's not really a house, it's more of a shed. I guess that's misleading because there's also a shed that he's going to be working on, but it's apparently like a room for somebody to sleep in and then half of like just hay storage. He's working on that, and then he's going to be working on the shed that was also there and kind of fleshing out the last couple of pieces to get the base of what the ranch looked like done. Kylie's continuing to work on foliage. She's got the one cactus is just needing texturing, and she's got a couple of other models that are close to being ready on the model side that'll just need texturing. Deshaun is working on the design documents for the ranch area. So we'll have like what Travis is working on, we'll have what NPCs are there, what states do they have, what blurbs do they spit out when you scan them, what does the player have to do to complete that zone. Mari Lindsay, an artist I've worked with in the past, is going to be coming onto the project to do our UI art. So that way we have somebody who's actually good at doing it, not just me making my crappy UI art. And then Frank is taking a look at the states that are in Travis's document and ultimately Deshaun's document, and figuring out what are the default states and how does the NPC move from one state to another, and essentially creating the default template for how our NPCs are going to be based on what's already being built. So that way, whenever if we have to create an NPC on the fly, we have defaults for how they'll behave, set up and ready to go, as well as looking at the stuff that Deshaun and Travis are working on, since he's got a little more familiarity with the military than them, just doing spot checks here and there for both information accuracy to the Roswell crash as well as to how the military guys are behaving. I am implementing the soldier character model right now, so I'm getting everything renamed and set up in Unity, so that way when we have the mocap animations that we're going to shoot today, which I'll be in the suit for, those should be pretty quick for Travis to just, or not Travis, for Garrett to throw on there, since it's not a deformed 4-foot tall skeleton he has to put it on, as opposed to just a normal human one, so there should be less work there. And then I'm also creating UI layout documents, so that way when Mari works on the UI, she has exactly what it's going to look, exactly where the UI is going to go and what's beyond, with some gameplay and screens behind it, so she gets a better idea, as well as having a couple of example UIs that Doug and Daryl like, that she can base her initial concepts off of, and then the final production assets as well. That's pretty much it. We should have in some NPCs running around the crash site at the end of this sprint, as well as probably the ability to scan them. And then all we'll need to do for the sprint after that is add in the ranch zone and the influence interactions, and we'll have that core gameplay finished up. That's pretty much it for this time.